Have you chosen? Have you chosen? Or are you compelled by a lack? Have you chosen, or are you compelled by a lack of choice? Like a stone to the sea floor, you are not to be fucked with. Dreaming is not always purposeful. It is a wild and sordid affair of tension taming to a current across the complex tasks of a body at rest. The night shift of all things organ and used. Tin castle for a temporary king. He must reign before it rusts, and it would poke him in the place where your decisions leave knots and rust shut locks. The crows are mad, black with what's way in this world, as told through the unhealthy notes of their most metallic song. As if wrung up from the gizzard only, pitched from an ancient and annual earth creature, told to the blazing wind, then dipped in the deepest of black. It is not your language to speak, that there is an understanding of how tone lines voice with character, beyond the million gaps in species separation. And this thought is like a bullet let loose in your now, as the perennials begin to tell you something also. About a trust in sun, across slumber, with their twice life and certain season song. They have given birth to something dead. Below the backyard's alpha tree, whose ethnicity and age you are simply ignorant of, whistles the coiled and chuffing nose of a miniature dog, practicing gnaw with his indoor and purebred teeth, along the treated ends of a store-bought and cured bovine femur bone, blindly perfecting his eye teeth's angling for some death-match straights his tendered and perfect-bred pet neck will never tempt. And above him, the crows belt their awful cough into the snare and stick of evergreen needles. Beneath them grinding call lay a two-headed babe. It is dead. It, breathless in their half-stick, half-city stuffs and birth-blood nobled nest, it's still near violent. Both mouths leaking breathing liquid from their shared purse, strangled by two tracheas, drawing late earth air down to one tendered and off-center lung, into quiet. And you hear nothing but the heavy purr of poem parts of motion during this violent silence in your few apes' audible frequencies. And above, the crows edge their open-natured child to the lip of their nest and drop it to the human dog. The girder's purpose is specific. Yours is your back against the record machine? Do you need more heart in your monitor? Are the doves hungry for you? So do you control all doves when you duck on your prose? There's some bands you can't see without masks, swung low in the glum shroud of club light. There are some bands you can only see in glass. Are you the proud rumor in the belly of a pressing bill, twisted to the liking of a surefire and popular absence, and in such, eating your bones to no end, sitting yourself lightly on the death in this world? Will you die a slightly used death? Will your mouth widen when you die? Will your words widen when you're ghost? Ears ringing with greed from the sting of string-thin grooves worn at either wrist, a single singing confession machine pedestaled, sitting yourself lightly on the death in this world. you die a slight on a wooden sword at slow peace. Kept something dying in a box beneath a bed my father's father built for me. Never fed a mare honey and seed from my hand, or held a harp. These things would melt me, and then they would have won me. Doth the dark precede you in your swift and ample ever, or simply punk you near ledge, treasure, and lover? You were amiss before stained glass, its beauty never pointed at you, yet you held on bare legs the curing body of a dead-ended cat, below a porch, beside a boulevard. You saw it suck flesh, pulled by days of dirt and degrade from the gentle center of its lower jaw. All that was soft to it now had left. Eyeholes, cat, eyeholes, claws, and cracking flesh. And it was beautiful before you, made you cry and beg for what the day entrusts you, made you cry and harden. Finally, you'd been given morals you could understand, the cold below all rules and human harmony, and right before you, and you pricked your yet bitten finger with its broken body, and gripped your forehead, making a pact with depths that you could never make with other children, feeding your kitten. And were you asked at such young age to spend a year of weeks beneath the earth, asleep beside either of your grandfathers going gone? You would have. And you would talk to their husks with the wheeze of your sleep child chest, and give them grace as they fall to a simpler thing of compounds and languagelessness, where things are slowed. Thinking in child alchemy, your eyes grinding light from the darks, weaving what's leaking through the porch wood into sight. You caught yourself slipping double A's into its brittle throat, wrapping it in newsprint once again, to be buried forever in a ply of fading press and Yankee box scores. An old man walks the seashore, death in silent tow behind him, erasing his every footstep. Have you chosen, or are you compelled by a lack of choice? Like a stone to the sea floor, you are not to be fucked. Held on bare legs, the curing body of a dead-ended cat, below the porch, beside a boulevard. You saw it suck flesh, pulled by days of dirt and degrade from the gentle center of its lower jaw. All that was soft to it now had left. Eyeholes, cat, eyeholes, and it was beautiful before you, made you cry and and beg for what the day entrusts you. Make you cry and harm you. Finally, you've been given more as you can understand. The cold below all rules and human eyes. Right before you know the word. And you pricked your yet bitten finger with a bit of broken line and gripped your wood its mouth. Making a pact with debts that you could never make another change. And were you asked at such young age to spend a year of weeks beneath the earth, asleep beside either of your grandfathers going gone? You would have. And you would talk to their husks with the wheeze of your sleep child chest and give them grace as they fall to a simpler thing of compounds and languagelessness where things are slowed. Thinking in child alchemy, your eyes grinding light from the darks, weaving what's leaking through the porch wood into sight. You caught yourself slipping double A's into its brittle throat, wrapping it in newsprint once again, to be buried forever in a ply of fading press and Yankee box scores. If you are born into this world in a violent manner, will you not leave in a violent fashion? Like an infant Caesar drawn born from the cut, commencing with the closed circuit earth for one, as cleft off into singular and certain person time. But nature had cleaned its clock of you, and had you been ripened not by knife light, zooming out further, it was your time to be born still, and you would be denied life by the size of your soft skull. Doomed by the size of your skull, or your mother's lower body design. Has your fever finally hung you out to age? Cold in the culture of a one-bedroom apartment, your gray hairs laughing at the ones you took to bleach, loved, creating parts between your scalp and yourself. Today, I lost a scar. It fell like feather from the shadow of my breast to the floor with its lock of most irreversible tissue, healed to a seal in the ides of my manhunt. Proving barbed wire does not touch the flesh.
You seem to be lost and away and afraid for the frenzy. That is not my problem.
Like a child is put to
You
death
seem to be lost and away and afraid for the frenzy. That is not my problem.
Into the
I
failing disposition of your
pieces of my I cry for the way for the not proud.
into the world
Not be made
as
of
manifold
left to learn the two things in the middle.
from
Nothing
the
to
drone
betrayal.
of spending flesh
Understanding
to
for the same
losing minds and
tenderness.
wound
Creative
down
dream for the patience for the
hearts,
survival.
all seeing
This is what the beat the ice and breaking for the last stone that fell
against
with the heart
what
but that caught
clocks
fire.
clean might
I
see.
was the dog for the dead thing for all the time
He
that
is
I couldn't help it but
predeceased. He is survived by his
Told me
wife.
for the old book, but it was the wine darts.
He is doing
I
dead
saw the
leaf
sea for the foam,
angels,
for this is the
autumn
green for the
parted
sunset, for the
and
red for the
unyoung
change.
still.
I see the sea for the one for the dark, but the only thought of you in your eyes. I am the melancholy, but excited to return.
Death
I am just when it
is a
seems like
most
something
acquired
is
taste.
getting worse, and this is the really
Just
happening.
as
This
one's
is international.
course is not
Understanding for
theirs.
what you can find it within the sunset,
These
or
are
you
the
can find the
grueling
fame.
but certain
You
results
can find
of
the
all
understanding
birth.
with this name.
The all-sprawling nothing much
A
of
part
your
of the all
skull
glory
amongst the stars.
with the bum kids, the drum kids will be in the back.
Big
The understanding that the
motherfucking
background was only something for you
More
to not
meaningful
attack, but
than bacteria.
find eventually to actually
It's
find
the
what you
teeming
can
of
find
your
within the
own
source of being
voice.
suffering and not nothing more for the capacity is only
Old
for you to
age
find the
is
being yourself with
invisible.
receptivity, responding enough for the shutting you off of the
Stars.
I can love you when the shadows of the stars
It
are
is the
burning
call
sea.
of the child
Perfectly
to the
warm
helm
and
of
close
mind
and
for
understanding
sinking,
to the world, so this is all
as
the world
carried
that's
off
inside
by
of
the
me and
whites of
vibrating.
men.
I can
Away
be
from a
calm,
single
fully aware
changing
for what
of
it
the
be
teeth,
destroyed and not for the beat for the
toward
building of
a
the
slow
ruins. This is the manners of the soul
exchange
that
of
cannot be
fat
repulsive and back. I look ahead of your dream and wonder, what is this? What's to be predictable? What's to be unfortunate? What's to be the power to be applied for this? Is not moving the exciting how nice it is in love, but what I can do is trust how I can strongly pull up your soul as a living find the vibrant from the easy thought for the only roses and silk and dew. The sea that speaks a language polite. polite to the people who are never repeating of what it is, expecting me to take down for that I can hope, or I can be. I can be the thoughts of the own, for the terrible thing is to love too much and to find the sensitivity for the tenderness and shadow, but not the hollows, the bottles, the vastness, the humanity for the inexhaustible. Those for the collection, used for not to save for you to worry. This because it would be alright for this is the electric. Similes for those who absorb, for the full of imagination and changeabilities. Behind after the mysterious face of a creature, roaming through the moonlight, dancing through the plane, conversing forever for the sleeping, while the moon covers itself with the instant, while the reveals of the evil for the facing that was smooth and love, and the soft skin for the love of the eyes of the pull of the light. You can be the manifestation of a translation, but you can have it on your own version. Your power to refresh. Be obedient for the mind, following the waves, because they come unresisting with the submissive, the rhythm of the sea. You touch and you began to be the heart to be, but it was like the opening of the chest and the full of spices with the yellow, with the love letters and the ancient as it would really. I address it. It'd be a wound for this and never heal. And every wound healed, but that one still never heals, for this wound is still open. Love words. Speaking out of language and how to be something with sound the best way. But also infuse a lot of meaning through just a short phrase. Absolutely. A masterpiece. A piece of the master. Felt and experienced. You seem to be lost in a way and afraid for the frenzy. That is not my problem, for I care for the breaking up of the pieces, and why I cry for the brave, for the not proud. Will not be made a fool. Left for the learn, for the true things in the diddle. Enough for the betrayal. Enough for the understanding, for the same tender lucid. Creative dream for patience, for the survival. For this will be the ice and breaking, for the last stone that fell, for the heart that caught fire. I was the thought, for the dead thing, for all the time that I couldn't help it, but just my heart. They told me for the old book, for this the wine dark sea. I saw the sea for the foam, for this the green, for the sunset, for the red, for the change. I see the sea for the one, for the dark, but the only thought of you in your eyes. I am the melancholy, but excited to return. I am just when it seems like something is changing and it's getting worse, and this is the really happening, for this is the international understanding for what you can find within the sunset, or you can find the fame. You can find the understanding with this the name, you to be a part of the all glory with the bum kids. The drum kits will be in fact the understanding that the background was only something for you to not attack, but find eventually the actually finding what you can find within another source of being suffering, and not nothing more, for the capacity is only for you to find within yourself for the receptivity. Responding enough for the shutting and off for the withdrawing. I could love you in the shadows under the stars up under the sea. Your presence be the war for the closer than understanding, for the world to this is all the world that melts inside of me if I break down. I can be the complete poem and fully aware for what it can be destroyed and not to be for the building of the ruin to listen to matters of the soul that cannot be reposed in the back. I look ahead of the dream and wonder, what is this? What's to be predictable? What's to be unfortunate? What's to be the power to be applied, for this does not move for the excited how nice it is to love, but what I can do is trust how I can strong the pull of your soul as a divine and fact that he's a thought for the only the roses and the silk and you can be the seed that speaks a language polite to the people who are never repeating of what it is, expecting me to take down for the I can hope. You seem to be lost in a way. You seem to be lost in a way. You seem to be lost.
You seem to be lost in a way and afraid for the frenzy. That is not my problem, for I care for the picking up of the pieces, and why I cry for the brave, for the not proud. Will not be made a fool. Left for the learn, for the true things in the diddle. Enough for the betrayal. Enough for the understanding, for the same tender lucid. Creative dream for the patient, for the survival. For this will be the ice and breaking, for the last stone that fell, for the heart that caught fire. I was the thought, for the dead thing, for all the time that I couldn't help it, but it's my heart. And they told me for the old book, for there was the wine dark sea. I saw the sea.